Hi, and I would like to introduce you to somebody that I feel is very special, especially in this business. Just a great person, Cody Chimbars. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me on today, Julie.
Yes, yes. So I wanted to ask you some questions because I think there's a lot of people out there that are in the position that you were, or in the position that I was 10 years ago, and I think it's important to know that not where you started is where you're always going to end up.
That's
good.
Yeah, write that one down.
Yeah.
Write that one down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go at this at like the father side of things.
Okay.
One thing is I do know Cody. I've known him for about 6 years now, I would say.
Yep.
I get the privilege, and I've met his wife, I've seen his children, and you are truly a wonderful family man and a business owner. So I want to talk about the beginning. Okay, so when I first met you, what were you doing for a living?
So I was an elementary school teacher. I was actually teaching 5th grade, and I thought I did love it. I loved the relationship with the kids. I loved the teachers that I worked with, but I wasn't satisfied. Yeah.
Why weren't you satisfied?
Well, we were actually living on WIC, so Women, Infant, and Children. We were living off of government assistance, and I can remember before I got my real estate license, I had to go to Walmart. And, Christiana would tell me what it was like to actually go and cash those vouchers, and it was a whole process. And so the one time that I did, I'll never forget that feeling of shame, humiliation, just scanning each coupon as you go. And that was the turning point for me. That was that moment where I said, I cannot live like this any longer.
And, really that kind of gives me chills because as I think about this, because you got to understand, you went to college.
I did, yep.
You were an elementary school teacher. You taught other children. In my opinion, a school teacher should never be on government assistance. Not that there's anything wrong with government assistance, but you shouldn't be in a position to where you have to.
Agreed.
Because you loved it. I know you love children. You love, working with them. So what gave you the idea to become a real estate agent? Like, at what idea were you like, okay, I don't want to use these coupons. I don't want to use WIC anymore. I need a new career path.
So actually, my father-in-law, Reggie Moon, with Eclipse Atlanta Realty, he was a broker, and he had weathered the storm of 2008, 2009 real estate market. And I just asked him, I said, do you think I could sell real estate? And he said, not only do I think you could sell real estate, I think you would absolutely do very well in it. And so it was, I went back and forth. Talked to my dad and my mom, and, they all said that I need to stay teaching. I need to get to the 10-year mark to get retirement, because with the real estate agent, you don't get retirement. Old school thinking, right? And I get that. And I had a lot of fear, but I chose to do it. And so in December of 2014, I started the course online while I was working. We had, my wife was pregnant. We had a 2-year-old at the time, 1.5-year-old. And I would come home from school and I would work on the course. And I ended up finishing my real estate course in 3 months and licensed in 3/16/2015.
That's awesome. It's so funny that we talk about the similarities there. My father just retired from the school system of 37 years. And it's funny, he told me not to get in real. I love my dad to death, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But sometimes just because somebody, they love you and they're your family, doesn't necessarily mean they always have the right advice for you.
Yeah, right. That is correct. Yep.
So I want to give an experience about when I first met you. Go back to your father-in-law when he said, I absolutely know you'll be the best. When I met Cody for the first time, and he's like, I'm teaching, I'm getting into real estate part-time till I can move over. I believed in you, like, legitly from the first day I met you. Actually, I remember the first time I met you. We were in the back of the Century 21 office for like a little dinner, and then we went outside and we were talking there. That was the first time I met you. And I knew, like, to me, I don't know what it was about you, but in my mind, it was a done deal. Like, I already knew it. I mean, like, so much so that I'm like, dude, you're going to be like the mayor of our town. We live in the same town, so I totally have been speaking this on him for years.
You have. That's where my mayorship comes from, is you speak and belief in me, yes.
Yeah, so, but I want to go back to that moment, because let me tell you something that's really hard. Going to something that is guaranteed, going from something that is guaranteed to something that is not guaranteed.
That's right.
And it's only guaranteed by you. What was that? What did that feel like?
So there was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of fear. But at the end of the day, my wife and I, we figured that out, that there was fear, that I was living in fear. And really before I met you was when we had this conversation. And so that night we prayed and we rebuked fear and we said, we're gonna walk by faith. And the very next morning I get a call from Vinky. Vinky, who was working with you at the time, and said, hey, we're looking to bring on agents, and this is what we're doing. And it was like, that was my sign. That was my moment of, okay, God heard my prayer, and this is what I'm supposed to do. And then, fast forward, we meet, and I had no idea what I was doing. But at that point, I let my principal know that year was going to be my last year. And I'll never forget walking down the halls as I was a fifth grade teacher. We did the fifth grade celebration. I had just tears streaming down my face because
you loved it.
I did love it. And then I meet Julie, and immediately Julie is speaking life over me, and just what she shared, that you're going to be the mayor, you're going to be incredible, and I didn't believe it. I heard it, but I didn't really believe it and receive it, and until a few months later, and I started walking in, just abundance, where we would go out and listing appointments. And I mean, I think it was the month of June, the first month that I came on with you guys, I brought on 9 listings.
So I want to stop there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I want to stop you there.
Okay. Because
people that aren't, because I'm not a licensed agent, I'm an investor, right?
Yeah.
I want you to understand the significance of what he just said. Brand new in the business, and in 1 month brings in 9 listings. Do you know the average real estate agent and or broker has an average of 2 listings a year, and you did 9 your first month?
That is correct.
That's incredible, Cody.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So when you got those 9 listings and you were going home to Krishan every night, I mean, did you know then, like, I've got this? Like, did that give you that feeling, or were you still nervous?
Well, it brought some peace, right? It showed that I could do it. And also, I go back to Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth is known for the home runs, right? But Babe Ruth was also he had the most strikeouts for a while. It wasn't beaten until 20 years later. And so it was those moments where you had to persevere. Yes, it's nice to have the listings. Yes, it's nice to start building that confidence. But at the end of the day, it's that continual, each day I'm going to say, I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. I'm going to go out. And going back to your question, I didn't want to skip that. What is it like mentally to go from having a solid salary coming in? By the way, we were living on $2,100 a month. That's what we came home with, right? And then tithe is $210, so we were living off $1,880 a month. So it wasn't a lot of money, but it was still a safety net. And that was that bridge that I had to cross. I'm like, I can easily bring in more than $2,100 a month. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to fast forward a little bit, because you had those times, where you weren't really there to secure. As a father, and I know what it's like as a mother, but as a father, how important is it for you, for your family, for you to succeed? You, Cody, how much does that matter to you financially? It's
all that matters, right? And that was the decision when I chose to go full time. There was no quit option in my mind. It wasn't an option. It wasn't an option for me to fail. No matter what I was looking at, no matter the bank account being low, no matter, are we going to make it this month? No matter all of the challenges that we had in our marriage, it didn't matter, because at the end of the day, I was going to succeed. Period. Failure, I just removed failure as an option.
Yeah.
I had to delete, strike through, all of that. Yeah.
I love it. Well, funny thing is you've came a long way. I'm not talking about just being a real estate agent that was on a team, then becoming a real estate agent to where you were doing it by yourself, to then opening his own brokerage, his own, like, not non-name brokerage, but not a franchise per se, which it's very hard to build a brokerage off the ground that isn't a franchise this day and age. I don't care what anybody says, I think so. So tell us a little bit about, your brokerage, how many agents you got. I mean, just how far you came with that.
Wow. Well, when you ask me, and I sit there and think about it, I try not to, because I know where I have to go. We have to go further. But our brokerage is called Anchor Real Estate Advisors. We were founded in July 2019. My wife and I are the sole owners of it. We currently have 49 agents that are choosing to choosing to partner with us at Anchor. And I mean, we brought on 4 yesterday, Monday.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like, I'm just getting chill bumps thinking about that. And I want you guys to understand, like, we live in the same town. I watched it grow, your company grow through signs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, like Brian would come home, and that's my husband, and he'll be like, I saw another Anchor sign today. I saw another Anchor sign today. Or I'm driving around and I see it. I am so, as somebody that I would at least like to say we're, somewhat friends, right?
Oh yeah.
I myself am really proud of you.
I'm
really proud of, I've met some of your agents, the way that they hold themselves. You and Krishan have really went above and beyond. But now the last thing that I want you to speak to is this person right here watching this video that is in a job that they love, maybe or maybe not. Yeah. There's not enough time in their life. There's not enough money in their life. And they may think, okay, real estate could be the answer. Could be something else too. They could want to be a musician full time. What is it that you would tell to somebody that was you that 6 or 7 years ago when you had that feeling in that grocery store, when you were spending 4 months taking that test after working long, hard days? I'm sure you're grading papers at night. Tell them the best advice that you could give them if they're in that same situation.
Well, I would tell that person, if they were sitting right in front of me, I would tell them that you can do it. If I did it, you can do it. Whether you believe that right now or not, you can do it. You can do hard things. And a lot of our agents, going back to our brokerage, a lot of our agents are just that. They're you sitting there thinking, should I get into real estate? Real estate has brought me the freedom that I never could have imagined that I would have ever experienced. And it's taken me places that I would never thought that I would have been there. And what we're seeing at Anchor is that these new agents that have come in that have left careers. I mean, we had a traveling musician with a very well-known Christian band, but he was gone 200 nights of the year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And making $60,000, $70,000 to be away from his family, young family. And now, fast forward, he's been with me for 3 years. $300,000 is not off the table. And so, but it's not about the money, right? It's not about the money. Money, you can make money anywhere, but it's the freedom of time, and it's the ability to serve those and recapturing your time to be with your family or whatever you desire to do. But you can do it.
Absolutely. I love that. You can always make more money and you can never get back time. And I'll tell you, as I'm getting older, that's becoming more and more evident, right? It's time is ever more fleeting. Thank you so much, Cody, for today, for being on this podcast. Congratulations to Anchor Real Estate Brokerage, to your massive success. And I can't even wait to just see what the future holds for you, because the sky's the limit. Keep taking your wife on those little mini vacations, because I'm loving seeing you guys have fun and seeing the kids swimming and everything. But keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us on today's podcast.